Hey everybody, welcome back. So it's time for some more Dungeons and Dragons Online. Alright, so we just finished the quests out in the village here. I will point out after this video, as most of it isn't storyline based, it will come down to mostly just doing the quests themselves. So they'll start at the quest giver, and then I'll go to where the quest is located. We'll go through the quest, talking about the ins and outs of that specific quest, and then, go to turn in the quest. So, for this one here, it is Misery's Peak. It starts, you can pick it up from Ingram right here. And then he basically advises you to talk to another version of himself just over here. He's apparently very speedy, getting down from one end to the other. Alright, so we do have an item here, which is our horse. This specific horse was purchased from the DDO store as part of the Pack on the Borderlands like extras. And what this does is just gives you increased movement speed throughout areas such as the public areas like in town, the harbor, and so on, as well as in these wilderness type areas to really get from one end to the other. So throughout these videos you will see me using my horse a lot. I'll also show you how, without purchasing, that you can actually obtain these horses as well.
A scraggly
so it wasn't a version of himself, it was Amalgam, not Ingram, but it was another Warforged here. So he bestows the quest, which is just up and around the corner here. Right to the door.
A bold chilling breeze emanates from the mouth of Misery's Peak.
Alright.
You're here. Come, there isn't much time.
So you're back with your party, as well as Lars Hayton, who you'd rescued here. You can talk through them and go through those steps there to figure out what's up. But for the most part, he just says they're going to go that way, you're going to go that way.
Hayton clears
nothing really special.
For you. Now to find this quarry mine sunder artifact.
So again, this quest is for the most part a straight shot from one end to the other. There is a little bit of deviation, which we'll get into. And I'll point out how you can navigate through if it comes down to it. Now,
several humanoid figures surround a glowing pedestal. Their putrid forms are frozen in contorted poses. Their
now
faces
that DM
set in
narration is
silent,
a little quiet.
eternal screams.
So this quest here, it is a little bit longer quest. So this quest will be its own video, and that'll basically be how most of the other quests are going to be run as.
The heavy door is locked by a pair of signal crystals. Hopefully the control mechanisms are in this cavern somewhere.
The reason I'm choosing to do that is it'll just make it easier for you guys. If you're looking for specific quests, you can just search them right on YouTube, or browse through the channels. The videos will all be titled after the name of the quest, to make it easier for you guys to find. And as new content comes in, I will record that and also place that on here as well. Alright, so as you can see, I am stepping on these little runic sigils. They're shooting off a branch of light, so they'll hit that main pillar, and then they'll shoot off in a direction. And basically what that is those are what's unlocking the doors. Now, this specific rune here, this is for an optional, and not actually required to complete. I do recommend doing the optional, as it's easy enough to get to. And this quest is a decent amount of experience, as you can see. Without any bonuses or anything, it is just over 5,000 experience. Granted, that is 5,000 with the Greater Tome of Learning. Now, there is kind of a bug with this here. When we shoot the breakables here and they start breaking on their own, if we don't continue to shoot them, it doesn't actually always count the breakables smashed. So sometimes, this run in particular, I don't actually think we're going to get the full breakable bonus that is available, simply because it didn't count most of those breakables. I'm going to have to just be extra careful up here to make sure I get them. Well, it gave me some of them, but it didn't give me all. I think I got a total of 5 out of that. Alright, so once we step on this one here, which I didn't do, just gonna shoot down, and what I like is it actually points to the locations of where these doors open up. So there's actually one there, which I didn't go to. It was right next to where our other breakable section was. It opens up this door here, which has a lever at the back of the room. Which, no, apparently I didn't go in. Wow, I am just not paying attention tonight. So stepping on that opens the door, goes in, gets the lever. Now the one we need is the orange one. So if you're ever unsure of where specifically it points to, you can just look at the light and it'll, go directly there. So the way to get there is around the edge. Of course, if you have Featherfall, feel free to just hop down. Or you can just hop down if you got a decent healer or some way to give you heals, as obviously you will take a little bit of fall damage, unless you have that Featherfall.
With the second signal crystal activated, you hear the stone door at the base of the cavern rolling open.
Now, once you have both of those, all that's left is actually to go down to the bottom level over that direction. However, if you want the optional, you're going to need to come around the edge. And it's got the ramps right here. It also apparently has a spider. So it's right in here. And there it is. So as you can see, almost 700 experience. Again, that will be a little bit higher because I do have the 50% experience tome. And from here, all we have to do is hop all the way down to the bottom. This is why I do recommend picking up the Feather Falling Cloak. If you don't have it, you can actually drop down section by section. It will help you survive. Of course, it is still a fairly large drop, so I do recommend carrying around potions and other forms like that. You can also make your way down and backtrack, going back to down the ramps, as you just need to get to the very bottom level where you had originally started before you had climbed up.
chills run down your spine as you finally come face to face with a dragon that has been terrorizing.
It really is a nice
Even
little
at
dragon.
rest, it is a true
And as you can see,
awesome beast.
decent amount of hit points, 130,000. So glad that we don't have to fight that right now. And actually, you physically can't. There is a invisible wall.
The door at the rear of the cabin pops open.
You used to be able to,
Altus,
and
attracted by the roar of
people
combat,
would bug it
rush
out by
to
killing
confront
the
you.
dragon. But they put up an invisible wall to stop that now. Here we just need to go up to pull a lever, and then right back down through the door. Now one thing I love here is if you actually look beneath
The
the
ground
ice,
quavers, and you look
you
down
can't
to see a
see
tunnel beneath the ice. The
your
dragon
party members
roars
there,
as it thunders after Selimas
and you can
Jeeps
see
Talmud.
the dragon
The
coming in
ruse is
behind.
working.
So I like that they did include that visual there. I've always thought this would make a nice, like, if they ever revisit Korthos in an update to make it like an epic version, which is basically to just carbon copy it but make it at a higher level, generally past 20. So yeah, if they went and did something like that, it would be interesting if it was set up as a raid, and rather than Jeets, Selimas, and Tabran going the other direction, it would be, you know, the other half of your party. Alright, and in this hall there are two levers, one in this
A
door.
signal crystal glows with power as you engage the first control lever.
And
But
then one
where
on
is
the other
the
side in
second?
that door there. And there he goes.
You
Pull
feel
that second
fresh
lever.
frozen air gust in from the newly opened door below.
Invalid target. That's right, I don't have my ability to self-heal yet. So, Rardy's self-heal are the repairs as well as the potions that you can throw. I go with the repair route. However, it does require me to take some feats. There's one, technically 3 feats that I take along that line. But it allows me to self-heal using the repair spells. they keep wanting to hit that. We'll get that in a level or two, and then we'll be fine again. I think that's level 5 that I'm able to pick that up. Alright. And after you kill the undead in each section, it does let you step on these runes again to open up the end area. Ooh, there we were. We were able to get the ransack. Once you hit all 3, the lights light up. You can use the lever. Now this part I do like
Waves
watching.
of psychic
You
energy
kind of have
pound
no
into
choice.
you as you spot a green crystal on the ledge ahead. At last,
So I'll just let you guys
this
enjoy here.
must be the quarry Mind Sunder. The Mind Flayer and Dragon are locked in a contest of wills. This could be your chance to destroy
So
the
once
Mind
you get
Sunder.
that dialogue, you are now allowed to attack this. One thing I think they need to fix here is spells and range damage still do not work on taking this out. The only way to break it is with melee. Now if you're someone like me who doesn't play a melee class, it takes a little bit longer than it needs
The
to.
dragon reasserts its will and looks
Especially
very
as we gotta,
annoyed.
you know, remove the weapon from our thing. Ooh, right. We missed it. So basically what happens is the dragon, as we break that, the dragon reasserts his will and turns the ice, the Mind Flayer into a giant ice statue. And once we do, we can just run off to the end here. Talk to Lars. You can only talk to Lars if you're in a party. You can only talk to him once everybody's in the end. Talk to him here. He creates a D-door. You touch the D-door. That's it. You're done.
And like magic,
Now,
the snows stopped. Savior of Korthos! They cheer as you return. But destiny has greater plans for you than just this small village.
so if you're playing through and you didn't choose to go to Sunnyside earlier, and basically skip the Korthos storyline, once you complete that quest, this is when it would now become sunny in the harbor, or the Korthos here. As well, another thing to point out, the quest sacrifices when you turn into the mayor. This guy actually gives you the second piece to those sets, which they are all necklaces. So we chose the troubleshooters before. We're going to choose the troubleshooters again. And it's also going to give us now a buff in the corner here, showing all that extras it's giving us for it being the quest. Now, it does show that he has a head above his, or a quest above his head. You can talk to him as many times as you want. It doesn't actually do anything. All that's left to do now is to talk to Valagar and leave Stormreach. However, we're going to call that video here, and we're going to pick up next in the next quest line, right from Korthos here. So, thank you guys all for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Have a good one all.